Welcome to Drunk Bible Study. This show's mission is to read every single word of the greatest story ever told. A warning to our listeners, the hosts of this show are sinners, but they're doing their best. There will be drinking and there may be some swears. They did say they'd try to keep it clean, but I wouldn't put my money on it.
I'm Emily, and this is Drunk Bible Study, where my ex-evangelical friends Jace and Dedeker join me, a born and raised atheist, to have some drinks and read the Bible. So Jace and Dedeker, what are y'all excited about today?
This is it.
Last chapter.
Exactly.
We're always excited on the last
second.
chapter.
You're on the penultimate chapter, Dedeker, but then I'm on the last chapter. Yes, this is the last episode of Judges.
Yes. Last episode of Judges.
It's a little bittersweet, though, because this has been a really good book.
I mean
very
awful
exciting.
too, but exciting, yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely been the most action-packed that we've had so far, just consistently action-packed with a minimum of repetition and boringness. And so
Yeah.
I'm a little sad to leave that behind, I have to say.
Yeah.
Well, maybe more will happen like that, too. Let's hope so.
Well, yeah, actually, this is kind of exciting because next episode is going to be the book of Ruth, which is we'll do the whole book in one episode.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's I think it's 4 chapters is all of Ruth, and so we're
Sweet.
just gonna boom, 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 and be done. So
Wow,
that's
it'll be
also
a
exciting.
special one-off, a very
Yeah.
special one-off. So you're gonna have to pick out like new intro music and stuff just for that
Just
one
for
episode.
the one. I'm not gonna
Wow.
custom
Jeez.
compose something like I did for this
Okay.
one.
Yeah, I think that's probably a good idea.
I think we got a
Just
little
find something
spoiled
fun.
on you making a composition for us.
Right.
I'm really
Yeah.
interested to see what the Book of Ruth is all about. I have no idea, but I guess today we have to worry about Judges, worry about what are we continuing on the story of Micah? Or are we just like finishing up?
So once again this week, we do need to give a little bit of a content warning, both about the summary of what happened last time, and then also in the story we're reading today, they're also going to be talking about what happened last time. So, again, just take care of yourselves out there, and if you need to skip this episode, that's fine.
Yeah, do you remember anything of what happened in that story last time?
It was awful. It was just like some awful stuff with Micah, and oh gosh, I was trying to like put it. Yeah, we were asking if Micah was the child of Samson. Sodom and Gomorrah stuff,
Okay.
which wasn't really a thing. I was just were there parallels with Sodom and Gomorrah at the end. I know that a woman got like chopped in many pieces, and it was awful, and it was someone's concubine.
There was also stuff
It was
with
very
some
sad.
graven images. Do you remember that?
Can you remind me?
Well, the whole thing with Micah is that he got the silverback that his mom
yes.
had, and his mom was maybe Delilah, we don't know, and then
Yeah.
he made like a graven image, and he set it up to Yahweh, but it was still an idol.
An image, an idol,
And
yeah. And nobody
he
liked
also like commissioned a freelance Levite to be his priest,
Right.
and then that caused a kerfuffle where there were some battles going back and forth over that, and then
but no,
smash cut.
That's the
No?
crazy thing, though, that we kept expecting the conflict to be over that. And all that happened was that the guys from Dan came by and were like, hey, you'll be our priest now, and took him with
Yeah.
him. But like, no one yet has questioned the fact that, wait, we're doing all these things that were very clearly against the rules. So I think
Maybe
I'm
because
personally
it's
still
about
waiting.
God?
That it's
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop. Like, this is
Yeah.
all going to go real bad. I think this is just a longer setup than we're used to in Judges so far.
Who knows?
So something that occurred to me last time was, remember, so this guy visited one of these towns of Dan, and I guess we've established that the Danites are doing bad stuff by like hiring freelance Levites and making graven images and all this stuff. But this guy was visiting the town, and all the people in town did the Sodom and Gomorrah thing and were like, hey, we want to have sex with your guest. And he's like, no, take my
Yes.
virgin daughter and his concubine.
was the thing.
same awful stuff. But in this case, unlike before with the Sodom and Gomorrah story, they did end up essentially raping the concubine to death. And
Ugh.
she like crawls back to this visiting guy's door and I guess, dies there. And that's the part that I think we didn't get before.
Yeah, because that was not clear. It just kind of made it seem like she passed out. He couldn't rouse her, so he like tossed her on his donkey and then decided to chop her up later. It does kind of set up to make it sound like the guy is the one who murders her when
And I
guess actually
You think she was already dead?
Well, as I've thought about it later, I think that because then he chops her up into 12 pieces and sends them to all the tribes.
It's so random.
Which
and,
is-
I mean, I guess it's not that random because the significance of the number 12.
Well, because, there's the 12 tribes. But what I kind of thought about after we'd recorded the episode is I was like, when we're reading it, there's no elaboration in here about how he feels about any of this.
Oh,
No.
no, not at all.
But let me pitch you on this version of the story, which is different from how we interpreted it before. So he comes out of his room where she's been like at his door and she's died. And he comes out and he's like, hey, come on, get up, let's go. Not knowing what's happened. And then he sees that she's dead, is very sad about it, puts her on the donkey, and then cuts her up into pieces, which is still messed up.
Okay,
Yes.
But
still a leap.
but he's doing this to send it to all the tribes to be like, look, like, along with, I'm assuming, a letter being like, this is how awful things have gotten here in this town and how terrible the people here are. And I'm going to send you this like very intense message so that you get how bad things are. It's still a messed up story, but it kind of totally changed the way I was looking at that character, that it's not about him being this sociopath, psychopath guy just chopping her up because whatever, he doesn't care. But maybe it's still weird that he wouldn't bury her, because that seems like a very also bad, disrespectful thing to do, is to not bury someone. So I don't know.
Well, because she's a
Well-
concubine, does it matter? I mean, is that their thought process here?
I don't know. Maybe.
We are talking about a woman, so
That's true, because
take
it's a
it with
woman
a grain
who
of
cares.
salt.
Yeah.
It is a very dramatic scene for sure. Maybe very cinematic and violent and all that. I do think that we are going to learn more about that today, more about his motivations behind that. And I do think that you're right, Jace, that
it wasn't
he's
about
the
him
one-
being the psycho.
It's not about him being a jerk. It's about him trying to send a message about how
Yeah.
everyone else is a jerk.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
That makes
In a
sense.
horrible graphic way. Yes.
Right.
As we get started today, we want to remind everybody to read responsibly and drink responsibly.
You can drink along with us or you can listen in the car.
But please do not do both at the same time.
And with that, Judges 20. Then all the children of Israel went out, and the congregation was assembled as one man, from Dan
Wow.
even to Beersheba, with the land of Gilead, to Yahweh at Mizpah. The chiefs of all the people, even of all the tribes of Israel, presented themselves in the assembly of the people of God, 400,000 footmen who drew sword.
See, I was thinking of like people who just like grabbed hands. They all like came forward, like that UNICEF. Is it UNICEF where you see like the children grabbing hands? It's like a little
Right.
cutout
Holding
paper
hands around
thing.
the world.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking was happening. But no, you said that they drew their sword.
yeah, they
so
drew
a
sword,
different
yeah.
thing entirely.
Yeah, very different.
So am I to understand that this is now all the tribes have united and sent soldiers to Dan? Because it said from Dan.
Oh.
And I was just confused. From Dan to Beersheba. Maybe that's the area.
I think that from like
Look at this
from
whole area.
the sea to shining sea, that kind of thing.
Got it.
You know,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, this next verse is in parentheses. It says, "Now the children of Benjamin heard that the children of Israel had gone up to Mizpah." Okay, so just so you know, the children of Israel said, "Tell us, how was this wickedness brought to pass?" The Levite, the husband of the woman who was murdered, answered, "I came into Gibeah that belongs to Benjamin, I and my concubine, to lodge." I see. So this is kind of a smear campaign against the tribe of Benjamin, you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
see, I thought it was the tribe of Dan. I guess they were the Benjamites. Okay. I
No,
must have
Dan
had
was
that.
the tribe that was involved in the story of Micah.
And then
We-
this was
Okay.
a Benjamite thing.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Got
Okay.
it.
This was a
The
Benjamin
corruption's
thing, yeah.
widespread right now.
Yes,
Apparently.
definitely. Okay. The men of Gibeah rose against me and beset the house round about me by night. Me they thought to have slain, and my concubine they forced, and she is dead. I took my concubine and cut her in pieces, and sent her throughout all the country of the inheritance of Israel, for they have committed lewdness and folly in Israel. Behold, you children of Israel, all of you, give here your advice and counsel. And everyone was like, oh, I don't know. Jesus, that's a tricky
usually,
one.
Yeah, usually someone else tells us what to do. I don't know.
That's true. Usually this is the part where Yahweh pipes in and has some
Exactly.
things to say, but
Right.
that seems to not be happening. Okay.
Yeah, or Moses or whoever's the judge at the time.
Yeah.
But I guess we
Yeah,
don't have
because
one right
nobody's
now.
here. Yeah, no.
All the people arose as one man, saying, We will not any of us go to his tent, neither will we any of us turn to his house. But now this is the thing which we will do to Gibeah. We will go up against it by lot, and we will take 10 men of 100 throughout all the tribes of Israel, and 100 of 1,000, and 1,000 out of 10,000 to get victuals for the people, that they may do when they come to Gibeah of Benjamin, according to all the folly that they have worked in Israel. So there was some fractions and some math
Yeah,
in there.
I know. I was like, wait a minute. 100 people out of 1,000. Okay. So
I mean,
10%.
It's consistently 10%.
10%. Yeah.
And they're going to get victuals so that when they come to Gibeah of Benjamin, okay, so the plan, I think I'm getting the plan is
Okay.
we're going to go beat up Gibeah
By drawing
Right.
lots?
by drawing lots. So out of every 100 men, we're going to take 10,
Okay.
and out of 1,000, we're going to take 100, out of 1,000, out of 10. Okay, it just seems like this is their complicated means of randomizing who gets to go and how and the amount of people that are going to go.
I'm also confused though. Are they picking out these people who will carry food, or is this the people who are going to go
And-
fight? Because we've already got
yeah,
all the
I'm
soldiers
like, are
here
they the
right
best
now.
fighters?
Well, Jace, you want to pull up the message and see what it says?
Okay, yeah. Here we go. None of us will go home. Not a single one of us will go to his own house. Here's our plan for dealing with Gibeah, : We'll march against it by drawing lots. We'll take 10 of every 100 men from all the tribes of Israel, 100 of every 1,000, and 1,000 of every 10,000 to carry food for the army.
Oh, interesting. So you're just the food
Okay.
carrier.
Just food.
Because I guess the soldiers are here already, so now they're like, now we're also going to get all these people to.
Oh, we just need someone to be the porters, essentially.
When the troops, yeah, sorry, that I would go on, but I'll let you continue.
Okay, I'll go on. Yes, okay. So all the men of Israel were gathered against the city, knit together as one man. We have really said that many times, that they're one
Knit
single
together.
dude.
They're so tight knit.
So tight
Yeah.
knit. They love each other so much. The tribes of Israel sent men through all the tribe of Benjamin, saying, What wickedness is this that has happened among you? Now, therefore, deliver up the men, the base fellows who are in Gibeah, that we may put them to death and put away evil from Israel. But Benjamin would not listen to the voice of their brothers, the children
no.
of Israel. Oh, boy.
Of course not.
Yeah, it's going to go bad.
The children of Benjamin gathered themselves together out of the cities to Gibeah to go out to battle against the children of Israel. Well, this isn't going to go well.
No, this is a
what
terrible
are they
idea.
thinking? What are they
11
thinking?
11 tribes against one? This is
Yes.
going to be...
Yeah,
Ben-
they're just so confident that they're going to be just fine or something.
I guess
don't know.
they have like the home court advantage or something. So
Jeez.
there's that.
The children of Benjamin were numbered on that day out of the cities 26,000 men who drew the sword, besides the inhabitants of Gibeah, who were numbered 700 chosen men.
Okay,
Among-
let's do
Yeah.
some math real quick. Not
Okay.
math. What I mean by math is looking back earlier. How many men were united before? Did we get a number?
No, they just
No,
said the
it was
race.
just the tribes,
Or wait,
yeah.
hang on.
Like way
at the
back. There were
tippity top,
400,000.
That was 400,000 footmen or
Or-
400 troops of footmen, 400
Yeah.
companies of footmen. Who knows?
Mm-hmm. Okay,
Okay.
so 400 companies versus Benjamin's how many? Two something?
Yeah, he's got 26,000 plus 700 chosen men.
Okay, so
Okay.
26 versus 400 units or whatever.
Units.
Okay,
Yeah.
this doesn't seem good for Benjamin.
Not great. Not
No,
great.
probably
Okay.
not.
Among all this people, there were 700 chosen men left-handed. Everyone could sling stones at a hairbreadth and not miss.
Oh, so these are like
geez.
the super elite, the SEAL Team 6 type thing.
Okay, so maybe
And
they
they were
are
all
feeling
left-handed?
confident. I guess so.
All right.
We talked about that in a bonus episode that that may have been a thing of specifically training
Training yourself to do it.
People to be
Yes.
left-handed.
Right.
Yes,
That's cool.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. The men of Israel, besides Benjamin, were numbered 400,000 men who drew sword. All these were men of war. The children of Israel arose and went up to Bethel and asked counsel of God, and they said, "Who shall go up for us first to battle against the children of Benjamin?" Yahweh said, "Judah shall go up first."
That guy. Okay.
There's no pomp and circumstance. There's no jumping through hoops like we did with Gideon of like, well, go send some tribes, see how they drink water, put out some wool, see whose wool gets the wettest, and then we'll decide who goes up first. So Yahweh's just like, I have no patience for this. Judah, you do it.
And I like that Yahweh finally is piping up here. He hasn't said anything for a very long time.
Although I will actually, I know this is a little bit of a bummer here, but they did say earlier that we were going to go by casting lots. And then they, quote, ask Yahweh, which I think really means they rolled their 10-sided die and whoever's number came up, that was
You're
who
right.
went.
Yeah, that's true.
That's why
true.
it's
okay.
that's why there's no pomp and circumstance. It's just like
I say
God said it's
gonna
the
be
roll
this
of this
guy.
guy.
It's Judah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. The children of Israel rose up in the morning and encamped against Gibeah. The men of Israel went out to battle against Benjamin, and the men of Israel set the battle in array against them at Gibeah. The children of Benjamin came forth out of Gibeah and destroyed down to the ground of the Israelites on that day 22,000 men.
Whoa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or
Wow.
22 units of men out of 400. I don't know. Okay.
The message calls them divisions.
22 divisions?
Yeah, they devastated 22
Oh.
Israelite divisions.
So they
Wow.
actually.
Yeah, the message
Interesting.
for a while now. Yeah, I remember this before. The message definitely is like when they say 1,000, they really mean division or
mean a unit
troop
or a
whatever.
division or
Yeah.
a troop. Interesting. Okay. The people, the men of Israel, encouraged themselves and set the battle again in array in the place where they set themselves in array the first day. The
Okay.
Okay. Take our same places. New
Yes,
people though, because all those
yeah.
ones were dead from yesterday.
Yep. Okay.
Definitely.
The children of Israel went up and wept before Yahweh until even. And they asked of Yahweh, saying, "Shall I again draw near to battle against the children of Benjamin, my brother?" Yahweh said, "Go up against him." The children
it.
of Israel came near against the children of Benjamin the second day. And
Is
that's
this-
where I'm going to,
Is this the one where they went up and like flipped a coin? Then like, do we?
They're like, dang it.
It's like the Iowa caucus, like how things are just like you flip a coin and then, okay, it's that guy. That guy
Right.
won.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to hand it over.
Okay. All
It's
right.
your turn.
Here we go. Almost started reading from the message again. Gosh, I keep wanting to do that.
Don't do it. We
don't
can't.
do it.
We're not allowed.
Not allowed. Copyright. Okay. The children of Israel came near against the children of Benjamin the second day. Benjamin went forth against them out of Gibeah the second day and destroyed down to the ground of the children of
Whoa.
Israel again 18,000 men. All
Gosh,
these
so-
drew the sword.
So their left-handed elite stone slingers are serious business.
They're just crushing
For
them.
sure.
Yeah. I mean, they're army too, but then also, yeah, wow. Okay. Then all the children of Israel and all the people went up and came to Bethel and wept and sat there before Yahweh and fasted that day till even. And they offered burnt offerings and peace offerings before Yahweh. The children of Israel asked of Yahweh, parentheses, for the Ark of the Covenant. We haven't seen that in a while.
What?
In parentheses.
That thing's still around?
Yeah. In parentheses, for the Ark of the Covenant of God was there in those days. And Phinehas, good old Finney. And Phinehas,
Yeah.
the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron, stood before it in those days. Wow. He made an
Gosh.
appearance. He's still
Yeah.
kicking. Wow.
Seriously,
Is he?
some old cameos here.
Yeah. I love it. Okay, so the children
Old
of
boys.
Israel asked of Yahweh, parentheses, for the Ark of the Covenant of God was there in those days, and Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron, stood before it in those days, end parentheses, saying, shall I yet again go out to battle against the children of Benjamin my brother, or shall I cease? Yahweh said, go up, for tomorrow.
Jeez.
Oh, wait, God's
bro.
going to say more here. He always says more. Go up, for tomorrow I will deliver him into your hand.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right. Big promise.
Israel set liars in wait against Gibeah roundabout. We love this move.
We love the liars in wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The children of Israel went up against the children of Benjamin on the third day and set themselves in array against Gibeah as at the other times. The children of Benjamin went out against the people and were drawn away from the city, and they began to strike and kill of the people, as at other times, in the highways, of which one goes up to Bethel, and the other to Gibeah in the field, about 30 men of Israel. What?
We got a little bit distracted with some Google Maps directions.
Yeah,
there.
I know. I was like, there's highways and there's freeways and there's,
Okay, let me
country
check this.
dirt roads.
Yeah, let me check this in the message here. Okay, when the Benjamites came out to meet the army, they moved out from the city. Benjamites began to cut down some of the troops just as they had before. About 30 men fell in the field and on the roads to Bethel and Gibeah. But really only 30 men right now.
Okay. So they're not quite as productive as they were in the past.
Right. Although I guess we don't know how big these troops of men are. Maybe that's like 2 full regiments. They're like 15 each. We don't really know. We don't have a sense for that.
That's true.
Okay, but if we were reading this literally and going, yeah, it's these like 23,000, it's like, what do we care about 30? What are you talking
I don't
about?
know.
Why are you telling us this? Okay. The children of Benjamin said, they are struck down before us, as at the first. But the children of Israel said, let us flee and draw them away from the city to the highways. All the men of Israel rose up out of their place and set themselves in array at Baal Tamar. And the liars in wait of Israel broke forth out of their place.
Oof.
Even out of Mara Gibeah.
Even there.
Even there.
Wow.
They're just popping out all over the place. Everything's coming up liars.
Yeah. Then came over against Gibeah 10,000 chosen men out of all Israel, and the battle was sore. But
What? Sore, like bad, like rough, like
It
intense.
must be rough.
Like
Yeah.
in the show I'm doing, it's like, he was sore, he was bored, he was dying for more, is one of the lines.
was that?
So I'm assuming it's like that. I don't know.
Is it in that one talking about all the Bible stories, or is this a different song?
Nah, it's a different. It's
Okay.
a different
Okay.
moment. Yeah.
Yeah, sore. This battle was sore. It was rough. But they didn't know that evil was close on them.
Oh.
Such intrigue.
Yeah.
Such intrigue. I'm so excited.
Evil from where? From each other?
Well, I think we'll find out in a second. I don't know if it's referring to the
Okay.
liars in wait or something else that we don't know about yet. Yahweh struck Benjamin before Israel, and the children of Israel destroyed of Benjamin that day 25,100
Jeez.
men.
Oof.
All these drew the sword.
Oh, 25,100, not 125,000.
Right. 25,100. All these drew the sword. So I guess clarifying that these were soldiers, not villagers. We're not
Okay.
doing that thing right now. Not this time.
Not yet.
Yeah. Well, this is a fellow tribe though, so I don't think we'll. Well, who knows? We're in a lawless time right now.
Exactly. Who knows? They do whatever they want. Like
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if they just went nuts, went hog wild.
I am surprised that Yahweh is like talking to these people though, because I thought he always had to have like an intermediary. You know what I mean?
Well, we did establish that Phinehas is here.
Oh,
Yeah, Phinehas
okay.
is here. However, the fact that so far everything that Yahweh has said in this story has been very, let's say, clipped and
Yeah, do that.
kind of binary. I do think that Jace, you're right that this is probably some of the divination tools,
Right.
that where they're having to feed it like, do we do this or do we do that? And then Yahweh's like, yes, do that.
Right. So Phinehas has
Yes.
his like magic 8-ball there that he's shaking around.
Because
and
normally Yahweh's much more verbose with
Yeah,
instructions
that's
for
true.
things. And
True.
so, I think you're right.
But he did at least say this time, though. He's like, yeah, this time you'll be successful. So there was at least a little more narrative there than just a yes or no.
That's good.
Yeah. So I don't know if, Phinehas saw that in the way that the dice rolled on the table, or I have no idea.
I don't trust it though, because if it was truly Yahweh speaking, he would be like, yes, tomorrow I'm going to give them over to your hands, just as I delivered you out of Egypt. I am Yahweh.
We go through that whole thing again. Yeah. Okay. So the children of Benjamin saw that they were struck, for the men of Israel gave place to Benjamin because they trusted to the liars in wait whom they had set against Gibeah. I didn't understand those words.
I don't know.
Let me try the message here. The Israelites decimated 25 divisions of Benjamin that day. 25,100 killed. So yeah, the message then goes back to saying those numbers. Anyway, they were all swordsmen. The Benjamites saw that they were beaten. The men of Israel acted like they were retreating before Benjamin.
Oh.
Knowing that they could depend on the ambush they had prepared for Gibeah.
Right. They're just being super tricksy.
Yeah.
Let me try reading this again in the World English Bible, because I still don't see how these words mean that. So, okay, for the men of Israel gave place to Benjamin because they trusted to the liars in wait whom they had set against Gibeah. They gave place to them,
don't
so I
know.
guess they kind of like let them advance on them.
Yeah. They gave him some land. They gave him some ground.
Right, because they trusted the ambush, the liars in wait. Okay. The liars in wait hurried and rushed on Gibeah, and the liars in wait drew themselves along and struck all the city with the edge of the sword.
Jeez.
Yikes.
I just think of like an entirely giant sword. Just
I
like
see.
going, like one that maybe Cloud from Final Fantasy
Yeah, like
would
the size of their
carry,
whole
just
body.
like gigantic, yeah.
I love it.
But it's large enough to like strike an entire city.
See, because when I read they struck all the city with the edge of the sword, I imagined them all running up to the city walls and just like ting, 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 banging on it with their swords.
I see. I see.
Now the image that comes up in my mind is that it's like in a cartoon when a hive of bees is chasing after somebody and it makes all these different shapes. I imagine all these liars in wait kind of hive mind creating the shape of a gigantic sword
Oh,
that
wow.
then
That's cool.
breaks upon the city. It's a little more
Wow.
interpretive.
That's a lot of power. That's cool.
Yeah, that's a lot of coordination too. They would have had to rehearse that.
Dude.
A lot. Okay. Now, the appointed sign between the men of Israel and the liars in wait was that they should make a great cloud of smoke rise up out of the city. So yeah, this is this old move where they're not sneaking up behind the soldiers; they're just going into the city now that the soldiers are out.
Mm-hmm.
That situation. Okay, the men of Israel turned in battle, and Benjamin began to strike and kill the men of Israel, about 30 persons. Again with the 30, for they said,
It's an important number.
"Surely they are struck down before us, as in the first battle." Yeah, I wonder if 30 might mean something else here. This is a
look
puzzling
that up.
one. Yeah. But when the cloud began to arise up out of the city in a pillar of smoke, the Benjamites looked behind them, and behold, the whole of the city went up in smoke to the sky.
Oh, and then now the Benjamites are like, oh crap.
Yep. The men of Israel turned, and the men of Benjamin were dismayed,
Oh, jeez.
for they saw that evil had come on them.
Oh, they're like, oh, dang it.
Yeah.
Kind of kicking the dirt and stuff.
Yeah.
Exactly, like The
Shut.
Sims might.
Yeah, like blah, blah, blah.
Therefore, they turned their backs before the men of Israel to the way of the wilderness. Okay, so they start running into the wilderness, I guess. But the
Oh.
battle followed hard after them.
Oh, I'd imagine. They're not just
bet
going
it
to let
did.
them wander off into the wilderness.
No way.
No siree.
And those who came out of the cities destroyed them in the midst of it. So, okay, now that they've burned the city, they came back out, and now it's like a pincer attack.
Well, so here's my question, and maybe this will get answered, but like, what happens to the tribe of Benjamin now? Because
done.
Did
They're
they just
gone.
obliterate
They
the
effed.
tribe?
Wait, really? I don't know, but
No, I don't-
I was
yeah.
just gonna say they were totally effed.
Yeah.
They are effed, but but what
But
happens now?
from a
How do we-
logistical level, what does that mean?
Right.
I don't know.
How do we deal with them? Is this like a slap on the wrist? Like you're punished because, you had a bunch of men die and this is what happens when you don't
Yeah.
submit to us? But you still get to be a tribe? Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
but I
either.
mean, they burned the city, but maybe didn't kill all the people.
Maybe it was just like, we're just going to destroy Gibeah and let that be a lesson to you, Benjamites.
Well, yeah, I do think this is just an attack on Gibeah. So, yeah,
Yes.
maybe it is that the Benjamite soldiers are here to defend Gibeah, but this isn't all of the land of Benjamin. That makes more sense. But this whole city's getting destroyed.
Yeah.
Okay, so those who came out of the cities destroyed them in the midst of it, right? So they came out and messed them up. They enclosed the Benjamites round about, and chased them, and trod them down at their resting place, as far as over against Gibeah toward the sunrise. Very poetic all of a sudden.
Mhm.
There fell of Benjamin 18,000 men. All these were men of valor. What do you suppose that means? Men of valor? Like, we think of that as being, real good, upstanding gentlemen.
Well, in this case, I don't think they're talking about them being upstanding gentlemen. It's got to be just that they were soldiers. And
They're
so
courageous.
It counts
Right.
even more that we killed them.
The
Right?
the message says all their best fighters.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, yeah,
There
that
you
makes
go.
sense. Okay, a little bit left here in this chapter. They turned and fled toward the wilderness to the rock of Rimmon, and they gleaned of them in the highways 5,000 men, and followed hard after them to Gidom, and struck of them 2,000 men, so that all who fell that day of Benjamin were 25,000 men who drew the sword. All these were men of valor. But 600 men turned and fled toward the wilderness to the rock of Rimmon, and abode in the rock of Rimmon 4 months. The men of Israel turned again on the children of Benjamin, and struck them with the edge of the sword, both the entire city and the cattle, and all
What?
that they found. Moreover, all the cities which they found, they set on fire.
Jeez. Oh my goodness. Okay,
The
so it's not
end.
just this city. They're straight up
Yeah.
just like everything is
Wiping
going
out-
to burn.
What did the
Wow.
cows do? Nothing.
Yeah,
Nothing,
the poor,
I say.
The poor cowie coos. Yeah.
Poor
Such a
coos.
waste. Such
Yeah.
a waste of so many things.
All the cities
Jeez.
which they found, they set on fire.
So it's straight up just everything. This is
Wow.
just so brutal and intense. It was like 6 dudes that were jerks.
Right,
Ugh.
right. It's like one gang of jerks. And then, well, I guess because when they came and said, hey, turn these people
Yeah.
over, and they were like, no.
They were like, no, that was their first mistake and probably going to be their last mistake that they'll ever be able to make.
Yeah, because Tribe of Benjamin's gone. I don't know if everyone knew that, but no more Benjamites. They're all gone today.
R.I.P. Benjamin.
R.I.P. There can only be one. Eventually, at the end of the book, there'll just be one tribe left. This is a Highlander.
Can you imagine if that was the actual plot of the Bible, was just about which tribe was going to become the ultimate tribe?
Whoa. This is a great book. We need to write that book. All right, so before Emily brings it home with the very last chapter of Judges, we're going to take a quick moment to talk about how you can support this show and hopefully get us to a point where we can start doing 2 episodes a week and we can get through this thing even faster.
Hey y'all, we're going to take a quick break. I want to tell you about our Patreon. So if you go to patreon.com/drunkbiblestudy, not only can you become part of our super cool community, you can also help ensure that this show is going to keep going. And because, reading every single word of the Bible, it's a little bit difficult to sustain, honestly. There's some production costs involved. It's not quite as easy as just sitting around and cracking open the Bible, even though it may appear that way. So even for just $1 a month, it helps us to keep the show going, and you also get access to our community. If you go to $6 a month, you can become a parishioner of ours, and that gets you access to our weekly bonus episodes. Our bonus episodes are super fun. They're attached to every single regular weekly episode that comes out. Sometimes it's a more in-depth analysis or research that we've done. Sometimes it's interviews with experts answering all of our silly questions. Sometimes it's us watching biblical movies or biblical musicals together and giving our own colorful commentary on them. Super fun. For $6 a month, the parishioner level. Or for $12 a month on our Patreon, you can become a disciple. And so in addition to supporting the show, getting all the bonus content, you also get ad-free episodes. You don't have to listen to this ad break anymore, and you get the episodes 2 days early. So again, if you want to join our community, get access to all that cool stuff, go to patreon.com/drunkbiblestudy.
We are also working to reach a goal of getting 300 patrons. And when we reach this goal, this is going to allow us to actually budget out the time and the money involved in recording 2 Bible studies a week instead of just 1. And that means that you don't have to wait as long between drunk Bible studies. If you're anything like me, I know at the end of each one, even if it was a hard one to get through, I'm like, but I want the next one. I want to know what happens next. I want to, get more of this Bible knowledge. So if you can help us get to 300 patrons, whether that's you yourself becoming a patron or whether that's telling your friends, getting them on board. Once we hit 300, we can start releasing 2 Bible studies a week, which would be super exciting. And then you all have to wait less time for getting another episode. So it's win-win-win for everyone involved.
And finally, if you love this show, it would really, really help us out, in addition to all the ways above that it would help us out, if you could write a review for this show. So go to iTunes and write us a little review. Talk to us about all of the things that you love about the show, if you find it funny, if you find it informative, if, like my mom, you have never read the Bible before and you're learning like so many amazing new things, and it's like new information even as like a 60-something-year-old. We would love to hear about all of that, because definitely like me as a 30-something-year-old had no idea about all of this, and I am getting a crash course in the Bible.
Make sure when you leave us a review, you let us know your ASL, your age, sex, location.
Oh my gosh.
Make it feel like it's IRC in the mid 90s.
Oh, gosh.
Wow. Okay, we don't need to know all those things. Sorry, Mom. Hashtag sorry, Mom. No, just it's fun getting to talk to her about all of the things that we're learning every single week about the Bible. So, yeah, if you're getting something out of the show, we would love a review from you. Thank you so much. Okay. All right, here we are. Judges 21. This is it, the final chapter in Judges. I'm ready. I know, the final countdown. Yeah, but I'm ready. I'm glad that we're here.
Are you emotionally
I think it's
prepared?
time. Yeah, I think I am.
What do we think is going to happen in this last chapter of Judges? Because this has got to be the end of the story, because we know we're heading to a brand new story in the next book. It's not carrying over.
Yeah.
How is this going to wrap up?
I don't know. Is it going to wrap up? I mean, this seems like a tumultuous time for the Israelites.
Yeah, maybe it ends with them getting a little more organized, because it kept emphasizing last time about how it was a time when people would just do whatever they wanted and it was a chaotic time. Like maybe we're going to kind of close the loop on that we've had this time of turmoil with these judges popping up here and there, but mostly just lawlessness, that maybe we're going to be like, and then those times were real bad and we're glad we moved on, or something like that.
For sure. Yeah. Well, that would be good if something good happened. All right. Well, let's continue on to Judges 21 and finish this thing off.
I have a chapter title here.
What is it?
The NIV chapter title is Wives for the Benjamites.
Oh,
really?
Great. Love
wow.
it.
Yeah.
That was not
you get a wife, 7 wives for 7 men.
That was definitely not the direction I was expecting the story to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, let's just cool it off a little bit and like end it with the wives. Okay. Now the men of Israel had sworn in Mizpah, saying, "There shall not any of us give his daughter to Benjamin as a wife." Jeez, They all hate the Benjamites.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it makes sense if they just went and killed them all. They're like, also, like, let's not let our daughters marry them.
Yeah, totally. The people came to Bethel and sat there until evening before God and lifted up their voices and wept sore. There's that word again, sore.
Yeah.
They said, "Yahweh, the God of Israel, why has this happened in Israel, that there should be today one tribe lacking in Israel?"
Wow, they did
I guess
wipe
the
them out.
Benjamites? Jeez.
Jeez.
Oh, wow. Okay. Jeez, yikes. It happened on the next day that the people rose early and built there an altar and offered burnt offerings and peace offerings. The children of Israel said, "Who is there among all the tribes of Israel who didn't come up on the assembly to Yahweh?" For they had made a great oath concerning him who didn't come up to Yahweh in Mizpah, saying, "He shall surely be put to death."
Jeez, these people love death.
Yeah.
These people love death.
They love killing each other.
I'm
really.
just, okay, maybe this is callous or a little insensitive, but I'm just like, can we at least come up with some creative punishments every once in a while? Can we
besides
make
just
it about
killing
just
them?
not
Yeah.
death? Like, geez, that's all you
right.
can think about.
I guess it's like the worst punishment to these people. So yeah, that's what they're doing. I mean, sometimes they kill just the daughters. They don't kill like the actual person or something
Sure.
along those lines.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
Gosh, I'm just looking for like, what are the ways that you can maybe think about getting your people in line other than telling them, hey, do this thing or else I'm going to kill you.
Right. It's like, show up at this place and time or you will be killed. Like,
Yeah, jeez. Seriously. The children of Israel repented them for Benjamin, their brother, and said, "There is one tribe cut off from Israel this day. How shall we do for wives for those who remain, seeing we have sworn by Yahweh that we will not give them our daughters to wives?"
Because we can't expect a man to not have a wife.
right.
Yeah, we need to figure that out.
Even these guys that we've wiped out, they still got to have
Yeah.
wives.
It's funny.
That's so
Oh,
weird.
God.
What a weird
That
thing.
is.
What a weird thing to be considerate of at the last second here.
That is really strange that like they got together a big council and they're like, well, we have to give them some wives. Like, how do we do
Right.
that? I don't know. Okay. They said, what one is there of the tribes of Israel who didn't come up to Yahweh to Mizpah? Behold, there came none from the camp from Gilead to the assembly. Or Jabesh Gilead. Okay.
Oh, I think I see what's happening here. So when they
All right.
when they all
That makes
gathered,
one of us.
so they said
Yeah.
like everyone gather here at this place at Mizpah, and
Uh-huh.
if you don't, we're gonna kill you.
Yeah.
Also, while we're here, we swore an oath to Yahweh that we won't let our daughters marry Benjamites. And
Yeah.
then now they're like, ugh, but they gotta have some wives, right? Was there anyone who didn't show up?
Yeah, that's going to be the number one candidate.
Because they
We're
didn't
gonna
make
hand
the
them over.
vow if they didn't show up. So maybe instead
Oh.
of killing them, maybe.
Or maybe we do kill
we
them
do-
and just give
oh,
their daughters.
so
That's
the
what I think
wives
is
are
the more likely
free.
scenario.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Okay, I see where you're going with this.
Okay.
So the congregation sent their 12,000 men of the most valiant and commanded them, saying, "Go and strike the inhabitants of Jabesh Gilead with the edge of the sword, with the women and the little ones."
So kill everyone. Okay, cool. Great.
Wait, this is the thing that you shall do. You shall utterly destroy every male and every woman who is slain by a man. What?
Yeah,
This is not solving your problem.
They've made this move before though, where they only save the virgins and the children.
Oh, here it is. Yeah. You're right, Dedeker. They found among the inhabitants of Jabesh Gilead 400 young virgins who had not known a man by lying with him, and they had brought them to the camp to Shiloh, which is in the land of Canaan. Oh my
Yep.
gosh.
Jeez.
Yeah. Yep.
This is really
So
amazing.
cool. We're back to the story of everyone's a bad guy in this. Everyone's a bad guy in this story.
Yeah. So the whole congregation sent and spoke to the children of Benjamin who were in the rock of Rimmon and proclaimed peace to them. Benjamin returned at that time and gave them the women who they had saved alive of the women of Jabesh Gilead. And yet, so there weren't enough for them. I guess these
Oh,
400
dang
were
it.
not enough. Well,
Right.
too
Oh,
bad.
dang it. God,
The
this
people
is just-
repent. Yeah, no, I know. This is insane. The people repented them for Benjamin because that Yahweh had made a breach in the tribes of Israel.
Because what?
Because that Yahweh had made a breach in the tribes of Israel.
Oh, I see. Like that there'd
breach?
been a division
A breach?
between
A
them.
division?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. The message says the people felt bad for Benjamin. God had left out Benjamin, the missing piece from the Israelite tribes. I imagine they all made necklaces with like hearts with little missing pieces that speaks
Oh.
at Benjamin.
That's cute.
This is just so ridiculous. It's like this weird
Yes.
remorse. It's
Right.
like murderer's remorse. Like
Yeah.
you wiped
Exactly.
them out, and now you're like, oh.
And the
but
solution is to kill
Benjamites-
more people
Because to kill.
Yeah.
and traumatize
Seriously.
more women to try to
Yeah.
make it up to these guys.
Oh god, this is
This
just
is some really
crazy
ridiculous
town.
logic here, like
Yeah.
truly. Yeah. So the people repent. Okay, yes. Then the elders of the congregation said, "How shall we do for wives for those who remain, seeing the women are destroyed out of Benjamin?"
I like that sentence. How shall we do for wives?
And all of this, like when they talk about they saved these virgins alive and like, well,
Yeah,
what are
but
we gonna do?
they killed all these other women.
You know, what are we gonna do since all the women are
Stupid.
destroyed? I'm like, y'all are the ones who did it.
Right.
Yeah,
What do
exactly.
you- Gosh, yeah.
How are you sitting there just like puzzling and gnashing your teeth?
I
But it's
truly
like,
don't know.
oh gosh.
They said there must be an inheritance for those who are escaped of Benjamin, that a tribe not be blotted out from Israel. However, we may not give them wives of our daughters, for the children of Israel had sworn, saying, "Cursed be he who gives a wife to Benjamin." They said, "Behold, there is a feast of Yahweh from year to year in Shiloh, which is on the north of Bethel, on the east side of the highway that goes up from Bethel to Shechem, and on the south of Lebanon." They commanded the children of Benjamin, saying, "Go and lie in wait in the vineyards, and see, and behold, if the daughters of Shiloh come out to dance in the dances, then come you out of the vineyards, and catch you every man his wife of the daughters of Shiloh."
Catch!
Wow, Dedeker's
What?
having a moment. "And go to the land of Benjamin." What does the message say, Jess?
Hold on. Hold on.
Yeah.
Just,
All
I need a
right,
moment.
we're on to what?
Because every single time, I think it cannot get any more bonkers. Now
Yeah.
it's like this weird Hunger Games style. Go catch you a wife. It'll be great. If they come up to dance, they're not even going to be expecting it. Hide in the vineyards. It'll be fantastic.
Yeah.
What is this?
Let me hit you with the message because it's even more.
No.
It's just as nuts.
Okay, all right.
It's just
Okay.
no. It's literally as nuts as you just described, Dedeker. So they told the Benjamites, "Go and hide in the vineyards. Stay alert. When you see the Shiloh girls come out to dance the dances, get this. This is a quote. Run out of the vineyards." Grab one of the Shiloh girls for your wife, and then hightail it back to the country of Benjamin.
Hightail it.
Hightail it. That's amazing.
Okay, hold on a second. Hold on 1 second. Okay, so they kill these people and they take the virgins.
Yeah.
And why are they not just like, okay, we're just gonna it's because there's not enough.
Yeah, that's not enough.
There's not enough, so they have to turn it into a game where it literally is every man for himself, just like
Wow.
smoke if you got him, catch him if you can.
But-
Catch them all. Gotta catch them all.
Gotta catch them all. Also, what's weird about this too is they're saying like, "Hey, there's this festival of Yahweh that goes on in Shiloh, and it's north of Bethel, like up here." Like, I guess we're assuming that it's also people who didn't show up and make this oath, so it's okay to grab them. Like, it's a festival to Yahweh, so it's not even like this is some other peoples that they're like, go grab their wives. It's like, no, like from our allies, go and steal a bunch of women away to be your wives.
That's really weird.
It's bonkers.
It's really weird. Yeah. I don't know what I think about this at all. I mean, I think that it's ridiculous.
It's awful, yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. Where was I? 20? Was that where I was?
Actually, you know what? Did you know that actually in modern day, I think it was Kazakhstan or maybe Kyrgyzstan, that there's still some bride snatchings that happen?
Really?
Yeah, I was reading about this. I think something like back in 2011 or something, like an American woman was actually snatched by some like nomadic peoples. I mean, she was rescued eventually, but like bride snatching still exists in some parts of the world.
Wow, that is
Jeez.
awful. That is awful.
Wow. Okay, I'm just going to say this. They said, "Behold, there is a feast of Yahweh from year to year in Shiloh, which is on the north of Bethel, on the east side of the highway that goes up from Bethel to Shechem on the south of Lebanon. Lebonach."
Yeah, make sure you don't make a left turn at the wrong place because then you're going to be grabbing ladies from a place you should not be grabbing ladies from. Trust me, bro.
Right.
They commanded the children of Benjamin, saying, "Go and lie in wait in the vineyards, and see, and behold, if the daughters of Shiloh come out and dance the dances, then come you out of the vineyards, and catch you every man his wife of the daughters of Shiloh, and go to the land of Benjamin."
We'll just have a good old hootenanny.
Yeah, exactly. "It shall be when their fathers or their brothers come to complain to us that we will say to them, grant them graciously to us."
We'll
because
say fudge off.
yeah, because we didn't take for each man his wife in battle, neither did you give them to them, else would you now be guilty.
Okay, we gotta
That's
parse
some
that
weird
one.
logic there.
We gotta figure that one out.
I think I get it. Read that one more time, what they say.
"It shall be when their fathers or their brothers come to
yeah.
complain to us that we will say to them, grant them graciously to us, because we didn't take for each man his wife in battle. Neither did you give them to them, or else would you now be guilty.
So, okay. Wow. This is some real like rules lawyering that's happening here. So check it out. They're saying, no, bro. Give them to us like happily because we didn't take them in battle. We didn't kill you to get them. And you didn't give them what you swore you wouldn't do. So like everyone's fine, right?
Wait, but I'm confused. Are these the same ladies that were the virgins that were stolen? Or
No,
is this a
different ladies. Different ladies from a different town.
What? So what happened to the other ladies?
There weren't enough. You've covered this twice now.
Yeah, there were 400 of them, but it wasn't enough. It wasn't
Wasn't
enough.
Oh my goodness. Okay. All
Right. So
So,
do you see this insanity here, though?
yes,
That
yes, I
these
see
people
it.
had made the oath not to give their daughters to Benjamin.
So they
they're
had to
like,
be super tricksy about it and
Yeah.
make it extra non-consensual to
right.
get around the rule.
Yeah.
Of course they did.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
And they're like, you
So-
should be happy. We didn't kill you to get them, so chill.
Okay. What are they going to do for these people whose wives have been taken from them?
Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm wondering, because they're killing these other people, and then those who are left, they're trying to grab wives for them.
Yeah, it's really a
then
zero-sum
those-
game here.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, what is it? How is this logical? It's not. It's really not.
I'm
Okay.
assuming
Okay.
that the women who dance the dances, first of all, love that phrase, dance the dances.
You'd go dance your dance.
I would go dance the dances. I'm assuming that the only women who are dancing the dances must be non-married women.
Yeah.
I
These are-
mean,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, that's like
I
the
don't
ones who do
know.
the dances are the ones trying to get
Oh,
husbands, I guess.
yeah, because it says the fathers or brothers
Exactly.
come complain to us. Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
It's not their
so it's not
husbands
like
coming,
the
yeah.
husbands.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, fine. So the children of Benjamin did so and took them wives according to their number of those who danced, whom they carried off, and they went and returned to the inheritance and built the cities and lived in them. The children of Israel departed there at that time, every man to his tribe and to his family, and went out from there every man to his inheritance. In those days there was no king in Israel. Every man did that which was right in his own eyes.
Clearly.
The end.
The end. Wow. So we're just right back where we started. Like the author just at the end is like, it was a real crazy time, guys.
Yeah, like I don't exactly. Jeez.
Oh my goodness.
Let me read you a little bit of the message here because it's also just bonkers. So the whole go hide in the vineyards thing and then hightail it back to the country of Benjamin. Then after that it says, when their fathers or brothers come to lay charges against us, we'll tell them we did them a favor. After all, we didn't go to war and kill to get wives for men. And it wasn't as if you were in on it by giving consent. But
Right,
if you
Great,
keep
thank you.
this up, you will incur blame.
Whoa.
Jeez,
Like a little veiled threat at the end there.
Jeez.
Yeah. Bonkers.
Wow. Well, I mean, to be fair, I guess
Action-packed ending.
yes,
For an
judges did
action-packed
not
book.
disappoint.
It's
Certainly
true.
did
No.
not disappoint whatsoever.
But we
I
never
couldn't have imagined that was where this was going, but here we are.
But also the whole Dan story with his knockoff priest and his graven image never amounted to anything.
yeah, that's true. He never
Oh,
got
that's true.
punished for that.
It's
in
like
any way that we could see.
it's like this season got canceled early and the show writers just had to kind of be like, well, let's
We're
wrap
like,
up this story. It's all
whatever. Yeah, it's
we got. Yeah.
Gosh, maybe it'll come back around later.
That's
Uh,
You know,
possible.
like
Maybe.
we should remember. We should probably be remembering everything that we read because it'll
Yes.
probably come back again later.
Good luck with that on my part, at least. Maybe y'all will, but for me, I'm like,
Wow.
eh.
Wow, judges. What do we learn from judges overall? Just taking a step back, taking a bird's eye
Being a
view.
woman is it's an awful time to be a woman. That's
Emily,
what I
we
learned.
knew that already. Come on.
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
I'm just
true.
saying.
Okay, awful time to be a woman. It was a
was
lawful,
reiterated.
lawless time, not lawful.
Yeah.
Lawless time.
Yeah, nobody was, the head of anything, and I think things do run better when there's like at least somebody who knows what the hell they're doing and
that's
talks,
what this story seems to show us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So leadership is good.
Okay.
Yeah.
But also there were some assassinations of other leaders.
Yeah.
Right? There was the whole like tent pole through the head thing.
Oh, right. Gosh.
From way
you
back.
blocked that one out.
Yep. And there was the
Uh-huh.
cool left-handed stabbing of the king maybe on the toilet.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
I forgot about that one too. Wow.
Remember Sir Paul McCartney made his guest appearance as
Right.
that role.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The left-handed wonder.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just also, people having to sacrifice their virgin daughters because they made a really silly oath about
Yeah,
who
real
they were going to kill
stupid
when
oath,
they
yeah.
first came home or something like that. Yeah, what a time. What a book, really. What a book.
Yeah.
I do
Yeah.
feel like though, compared to the other books we've read, this one does kind of, because it's so many little vignettes, I do feel like I have a better kind of sense of like what was happening at this time, like what their whole situation was. I don't have a clear sense, but a better sense than I had before.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
just
it was
that
very vivid imagery.
Right.
There's a
Good.
lot of chaos. It seems like a lot of infighting between the tribes. I think that's
Yeah.
the first time we've really seen that.
Yeah.
I get a sense in the past books, like especially in Joshua, that there's maybe a little bit of rivalry among the tribes about land and who gets what and who goes where and stuff like that. But this was the first book where we saw tribes just straight up going to war against each other
that's true.
and sabotaging each other.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
a real sense of them being like as if they're from different countries, kind of.
Yes.
Yeah.
definitely.
No, that's interesting. That
Yeah.
makes sense. And also, I
Wow.
guess just that this is a kind of crazy time where like they're not all settled. They're still in the process of kind of finding where their towns are going to be. And I guess I just got more of a sense of like what's going on here, that it's not just like, and then they did this thing that maybe took many, many years, but we were kind of seeing snippets of that, like little, vignettes from that time.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was cool. I mean, I enjoyed Judges overall, but there were some really problematic things towards the end there.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah, especially at the end, but really throughout.
Yeah.
It's weird to think actually that I remember we talked back at the beginning. One of the kind of standout features of Judges is that it features more than one female character who is like an active part of moving the plot forward.
Mm-hmm.
And yet in the same book, we've also seen some of the most horrible treatment of women that doesn't seem to be a problem. Like
Right.
it's not portrayed as like, and isn't that terrible? So it is this weird.
Yeah, like a weird mismatch of
Yeah.
both, hey, here's some compelling evidence that like women have their own personalities and have their own strengths and are their own people, and yet we're also going to mash that together with a lot of stories that kind of imply that women really don't have that and they
Yeah.
are property and commodity, and that's about it.
Yeah. Wow.
Mixed messages.
Yep.
Story of my life.
Oh boy. Okay. Well,
Boy, yeah.
I don't know what the Book of Ruth has in store for us, but I am very excited to actually get there and speak about it and have it happen to me.
Like all of this has just happened to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like this entire thing is happening to me just bit by bit. So
You're just
I
a
don't know.
passive observer in this
I
drunk
kind
Bible
of-
study life.
Something to that degree. I feel like it's all like rushing through me, and I'm just kind of trying to take in as much as I possibly can. But we appreciate you all going on this journey of Judges with us. I'm sad that we are not going to be experiencing Jace's amazing creation in his awesome. The home of the people's dread judges, not the home of the dread judges. That's the other song.
Yep. That's when
Yeah.
I mash up the two. That'll be the home
Exactly.
of the judges. Yeah.
The dread judge. Yeah, I love it. All right, well, thank you all for joining us for Bible study today. If you want even more drunk Bible study, including ad-free episodes, early releases, personal toasts on the show, and more, become one of our patrons at patreon.com/drunkbiblestudy. If you enjoy the show, take a moment to subscribe and then write us a nice review on iTunes or Stitcher, letting other people know what you like about it. You can also join fellow listeners in the Drunk Bible Study Fans and Fellowship Facebook group. Find us on Twitter at Drunk Bible Cast, on Instagram at Drunk Bible Study, or send us an email to info@drunkbiblestudy.com. Drunk Bible Study is created and produced by Jace Lindgren, Dedeker Winston, and me, Emily Matlack. Our theme song is Book Club by Josh and Anand from the album Home of the. The theme song is The Book of Judges.
Nope.
Sorry, the theme... Dying. Okay. The theme song for The Book of Judges is The People's Dread Judges by
God.
One more time. The theme song for The Book of Judges is The People's Dread Judges by Jace Lindgren featuring Emily Matlack. For more information, visit us at drunkbiblestudy.com.
Wow.
I made a memory about your dad. He's in a book club. Whoa. He's got a history of skimming past all the pages of ageless confessional shit.